Hey beauties, it's Tara Marie here, and today I'm going over curl pattern. So this means what is your curl type? Generally, there are 4 levels of curl. You have type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4 curls. And then within each of those curl patterns, there are sub patterns, which are A, B, and C. So today I'm going to go in depth in what 2 through 4 is, because really, type 1 hair is just straight hair and we ain't here for that. So before jumping into curl type, there are many factors that play into knowing which products will work best for your type of hair. So while curl pattern is super important to know, there's also things like hair porosity. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I'll put it in my iCard. You can go check that video out. There's length and then there's density. So if you have the same curl pattern as someone, you may also want to go ahead and take a look and see what your porosity and density is type, so that you're able to get a true idea of what kind of products will work best for your hair. So jumping right on into this. So throughout this video, I'm going to be showing you different photos of curl types so that you can kind of give a little bit of a guess and see where you fit in. So first, we are going to start with curl type 2. So within 2, you have 2A, 2B, and 2C. With 2A hair, that's when you start to see a little bit of a wave, and I'll insert a picture here. It's mostly straight still, but you can see a little bit of body trying to creep up in there, and that's when you start to get 2A hair. Products that work good for this, you can probably just get away with a nice light mousse and a little bit of scrunching, and you'll be good to go. With type 2B curls, you get a little bit more in that more of like a body wave. It's not quite a curl just yet, but it's getting there. It's like creeping its way up into curl. In the same way, I feel like you'd be able to get away with just like a nice mousse when your hair is wet, just scrunching that mousse in there, and you probably get away with air drying, and you're set. For type 2C hair, this is when you're gonna start to get a little bit more of a definition of a curl pattern starting to come in. It's still more on the loose wave side, but it is starting to form a little bit of that S curl. So if you look at the photo, this is what you're seeing if you have 2C hair. Moving on to type 3 hair. So type 3 is where I would fit in. I feel like with my hair, I'm kind of all over the place. So with 3A hair, that's when you really start to see the curls start to form. That's when you have those big barrel type of curls. They're usually super defined, super big, and I'll put a picture in here. These types of curls are where you can start to add in light creams, nothing too heavy or else it'll make your hair greasy. But making sure that you are using maybe a little bit of moisturizing product because that curl is starting to come in a little bit more, using a lightweight gel or a mousse. Definitely stay away from any heavy oils still if you're 3A. If you are 3B, you're kind of creeping into my curl pattern here. So for 3B hair, that's when you're really starting to see this curl. It's more of a tighter curl. And while mine is still a little bit of a wave, let me find a good one here. Like my curls in here, on the inside of my hair, my curls are tighter. But if you look on the outer portion of my hair, my curls are very loose. So I'd say that I'm a combination of a little bit of 3. I don't think I'm quite 3C, but I'm like maybe like lower 3A, mainly 3B hair. So if you have hair like me, products that work best are thick creams that are not super heavy. You don't want to use a whole lot of these, but I also have high porosity hair, so that's where I was saying where you want to go ahead and check your porosity to see what type of level of moisture that you need that'll partner best with your curl type. So if you're like me, I do well with very thick creams, but I don't use a lot of them. I do like gels, but mousse combined with a good cream styling product tends to work best. If I use a heavy cream and a thick gel, it tends to weigh my hair down, so I like to do the cream and mousse route, and that usually works best for me. If you are 3C hair, this is really when those curls are popping. Like you have those corkscrew type curls. It is very full, very beautiful. All of these curl types are beautiful, but I feel like 3C is when you really start to see more of that coil type of curl pattern pop through. And for 3C hair, this is again where you want to really start using more of the creams and oils and gels. And those will probably work best for your type. Now, going into type 4 hair, these are your more kinkier type of curls. This curl pattern is generally the hardest to maintain just because of moisture reasons. It's harder for this curl pattern to retain moisture, and it's also super important for this curl pattern to obtain that moisture and stay moisturized in order for it to be healthy and grow and just live its life. So if you are type 4A hair, your hair is super tightly coiled. You are still seeing a little bit of that curl pattern there, but it is definitely a much tighter, a little bit kinkier version of that curl. Products that work for you, definitely heavy butters and creams. You can also get away with some oils to really help and make sure that that moisture is being sealed in tight. For 4B hair, this is where you're starting to see more of that zigzag type of pattern. So again, products that work best for you, heavy butters, heavy creams. I would say that just for all type 4A, B, and C hair. Going from 4B to 4C now, this is the thickest and the tightest type of coil. At 4C, you're really kind of losing that hair pattern. That's when you really get that afro, which I love. I think it's gorgeous. And with 4 type hair, this is where you also see the most shrinkage. So if you see someone with type 4 hair and their hair looks like this long, better believe they can pull their hair out to probably like right here, because shrinkage is real with type 4 hair. So with type 4C, again, this is the super kinky, super tightly coiled curl. And again, it's in the more of a zigzag pattern. So again, keeping it moisturized and making sure that you're really maintaining moisture with this type of curl is key for you. So that wraps up all of the curl types here. I hope you learned something today, and hopefully learning a little bit more about your curl type will help you determine which products work best for your hair. If you want to, again, go ahead and check out my What's Your Hair Porosity video. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below if you didn't catch it in the iCard. And as always, subscribe to my channel, join the Terror Squad. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, and I will see you next time.